Hello everyone, I'm Srimanti and I'm currently working as an ML engineer. So there are three main libraries that we often use when we are trying to implement any machine learning algorithms. So these are NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. I have used NumPy and Pandas and Matplotlib previously when I was implementing machine learning from scratch using just Python, and also when I was implementing machine learning using standard libraries like scikit-learn. But today I'll be diving deep into the fundamentals of these three libraries and the functions that we use. Now I'll move on to Pandas. So Pandas is a very important Python library that we often use when we are trying to analyze any kind of data set, or we're trying to understand the statistics behind the data set, or we're trying to remove the missing columns, manipulate the data set a little bit, see how the data looks like, see the mean, median, mode, and different statistics of the data, find the correlations of data. So I'll go into each of these in great detail. So let's start. So first comes importing Pandas. So once this is done, let's, okay. First, we'll get the data set. So I have my data set in this folder. You can place it anywhere. So I'll link this data set in the description of my video. And you can also use this data set when you're following along. So in case you're wondering, so this is the data set, Kaggle dataset. I always use Kaggle dataset. It's always the best source, cheapest and the best source for solving any kind of ML problems, for just trying out anything in the and anything you want to do. So we'll use this dataset. So first I'll print out the data frame. So DF is a data frame. First I'll print out the columns. Next we'll see the first 5 rows of this dataset. Next, we have the last 5 rows of this data frame by doing df.till. So now what comes very important is the sample. It's not very important. Like this helps us to get 6n number of different rows from our data set. So at random, this just selects 6 rows randomly. Next, what comes is very, very important. So which is the shape. It's the same as that in NumPy. The rows cross columns, and it shows us the different dimensions of our data. Next, what comes is the describe function of the data frame. So this one basically is very important to understand the statistics behind the data set. So it gives us the count, the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum, 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile, and the max. This helps you understand the data set more thoroughly. Now comes doing info to get some additional information. And also this is important in the sense that here you can see the non-null rows among the total number of rows. So the total rows is 54035, and you can see all the features, they have non-null data points. So this is very important. If you have any missing data, then that will corrupt your training. So you need to always check in the missing data and remove them or deal with them somehow. So this is the correlation function, which is like a different thing altogether. This will help you to remove the features that you don't think are important. How? So basically, this one shows the correlation between all the integer columns in your data set. Yeah. So as you can see, this is the formula for correlation. So here, like the cap diameter has 1.0 correlation with itself, obviously, because they're the same thing, so they are highly correlated. And if you see like different kinds of features, if they have very high correlation, then you can remove them because they will be degenerate features. Okay, now comes ilog0, df.ilog0. This helps us to get any the ith column, ith row from the dataset. And the column is simple. If you want the cap diameter column, you can just use this. This will show the column. And you can also get multiple columns from the dataset, as in like this. So you want, suppose, 2 columns, cap diameter, and let's say you want cap shape. This will give you 2 columns from the dataset. Next comes is null. So this is very important, as I said, to check the null values. You can also use info. You can also use this function. If anything is null, then you need to remove them. or you can fill them up with different things. Removing is a choice. So like here, drop NA will be removing all the non-applicable columns. Not applicable, it's not applicable here because we don't have any. But in other cases, it would be applicable. Now comes like if you want to change a particular column, a particular feature to basically to use to have a different data type. So we would have as type float. So this would give you a different data type for the same. Now comes filtering. Filtering is very, very important. Suppose you have a score variable and you do not want, the score is 0 to 100. You know that. It's in the problem statement. But in the data set, you find that there are some which have score greater than 100, just a human error. So you will need to filter that because you don't want, you know that this is noise and you can remove them beforehand. So you can do that by filtering. This is an example. Also, if you want to generate more data, more features, so from the already existing features, you can do that too. So this is the way to generate a new feature. Cap diameter. Let's just say we want to multiply by 3. Triple cap diameter. Yeah. X would be X into 3. Can be anything you want to do. We are just doing a very simple thing. Now, if you have DF, you can see that here's the new column, triple cap diameter. Now comes a very important thing, last but not the least. So basically, you in the dataset that you're getting, you would always have the target variable as well, right? It would not be separate. Sometimes it would be, yeah, but in most cases, it's not separate. For example, here, if you see, we have the class in here. And we don't want the class. We want the class to be separated out. So we will drop the class column from our data. So we would have now X as this. And for Y as well, we will also drop it from our data. For Y, we will need the class because it's the target variable. So as you can see, we have got the target. We have separated the target from the features. Yeah, so that was all about Pandas. This should cover everything you need to know till the intermediate level of machine learning. And that should be enough for now. If you have any questions, if you want me to cover any other functions, then please drop in the comments. I'll do that. I hope this helps. Thank you.